We have a Fox News alert for you on news that we broke moments ago. It's the sale of a prison in Illinois that was identified at one point as the possible home for Gitmo prisoners, should they ever be moved to the United States. Welcome to a new hour of America Live. I'm Allison Camerata in for Megyn Kelly today. Fox News confirms that $165 million is being spent to purchase the Thomson Correctional Center. Normally, not a big deal, except for those recent warnings from one lawmaker who is worried that this prison could be used to house potentially dangerous terror suspects. Frank Wolf is a Republican congressman out of Virginia. He joins me now. Congressman Wolf, tell us what concerns you so much about this sale.
This is a $165 million earmark for the state of Illinois, which is bankrupt. It violates the Obama administration's own earmark policy. It violates it. Also, it's opposed strongly by all the families, the 9/11 families. They all signed a letter in July opposing the purchase of Thomson. And it sets the stage for the closure of Guantanamo Bay by increasing space for detainees either at that prison or at the Supermax in Colorado. And lastly, it jumps Illinois, Thomson Prison, where they were originally going to thinking of taking the Guantanamo people. It jumps them above New Hampshire, Alabama, every other state of the union. And it's an earmark that they say is not appropriate, and yet they have done this.
As we understand it, Congress specifically prohibited the transfer of Gitmo prisoners to the U.S. How does this play into that?
They could, right after the election, by executive order, they could do this. What they're doing here violates the law. You have never had a reprogramming of $165 million earmark. Never been done, and yet they've done it.
How do you know this will be used for Gitmo prisoners?
Well, you could then put the people in the Supermax in Colorado in Thomson and then move the people from Guantanamo there. The president says his goal was to shut down Guantanamo Bay and move the prisoners here. This gives them a great opportunity to do it, particularly right after the election.
You're a congressman in Virginia. Why are you so concerned about what's going on in Illinois?
We have stopped earmarks here in Congress. So what you've had the Obama administration violating the earmark ban and having $165 million. Secondly, you probably have a Justice Department that is, Fast and Furious and so many other things. Perhaps one of the most dysfunctional Justice Departments we've ever had. And lastly, the 9/11 families, all of the survivors, the 9/11 families, have all been opposed to this. They're concerned that they'll either move Guantanamo people, and they're trying to shut Guantanamo people down now. They're now moving people out. You just saw they sent the guy to Canada. They're moving others. They either move them to Thomson, because this is where they wanted to go, or to move them out to the Supermax out in Colorado.
Congressman, what is the solution here? To keep terror suspects at Gitmo indefinitely?
We certainly don't want anybody from Guantanamo Bay to come to the United States. If they do, all the constitutional rights will be given to them. So under no circumstance do you want anyone from Guantanamo Bay. The trials ought to be there, and they ought to be held there, but they should not come to the United States. Don't you remember when they were going to bring them to New York City? Mayor Bloomberg was opposed to it. The police commissioner was opposed to it. To bring people from Guantanamo Bay to the United States would be a mistake.
Congressman Frank Wolf, thanks so much for bringing this to our attention.
Thank you.